Welcome to the 2019-2020 Virtual Banquet for Atlanta Juniors. My name is Sarah Lowe. I'm the Executive Director here at Atlanta Junior Rowing Association, as well as the women's head coach. Thank you for joining us tonight, or whenever you're watching, with our athletes, coaches, family, friends, and alumni. We have a great virtual program in store for you. And while we traditionally hold our banquet at an event facility or at the rec center, this year, we're coming to you live from the outdoors, so you may hear some ambient noise, birds, cars, wind, even a tuber, who knows. I also have a fairly accurate prediction that one or two of our speakers may get rained on during the virtual banquet. With that in mind, let's get started.
Hi. I'm Reagan Lynch, and as most of you know, I served as the president for the AJRA board this year. And I just want to welcome everyone to our first ever virtual banquet. A few months ago, we never would have said that we'd be celebrating remotely, but here we are, and I know you're going to enjoy what the coaches and the banquet committee have put together for you. I want to say a special thank you to our parents, both in the time of the volunteering as well as during this difficult time. You all stepped up, you've been flexible, patient, and we really appreciate your support. To the coaches, thank you so much for adjusting to this new normal, continuing to support our athletes, even coaching them from your living room. And finally, athletes, we're so proud of you. There's so much to celebrate. Your first ever virtual national championship, as well as all the things you accomplished in the fall. So I hope no matter what the next challenge is, that you guys will be very successful and look back at AJRA with lots of great memories.
First of all, we really appreciate each of our community partnerships. We want to give a special thank you to the Roswell Recreation and Parks Department. Working with them allows us to be here on the beautiful Chattahoochee River and to continue to spread the sport of rowing throughout Metro Atlanta. I want to recognize our parents and personally express the gratitude and thanks of the whole organization, top to bottom, for everything you do for your athletes and for the club. Thank you for your support of your athletes while they've been training at home these past few weeks. Thank you for allowing them to build a home gym somewhere in your house or in your garage. We talk a lot about the AJRA family, and when building the AJRA family, parents are an integral piece to the success and positive experience for each and every athlete. As you all know, the AJRA Board of Directors is a volunteer group of parents and alumni who lead the strategic vision of the organization. What you may not know is the countless number of hours that they each put in behind the scenes. Thank you to each of our board members for your time, dedication, and service over this past year. We've certainly faced a few unanticipated road bumps this year, and your support has continued to keep the club moving forward. Our board of directors are Lee Lynch, President, Alexis Solma, Vice President, Andrew Talent, Treasurer, Julie Rebel, Secretary, Jeff Cooper, Property, Mandy Landefeld, Regatta Operations, Sarah Majorum, Parent Involvement, Dave McAllister, Coaches Liaison, George Virgo, Alumni Chair, and Bob Osborne, Past President. With so many athletes in our club, we need a strong and cohesive coaching staff to make sure everyone is safe, healthy, and training hard, whether we're here at the river or at home this spring. Even with all my years of experience, virtual coaching was new for me this year. To our coaches, I know this was a new challenge for everyone, and I'm so proud of how you all faced it head on and came up with creative ways and solutions to keep coaching from home and to keep our athletes engaged. Thank you for your countless hours and text availability when I just want to talk about rowing. The foundation of our club starts with our D-Squad and Rec Team coaches, Alexa Hoover, Quinn Snyder, Hannah Murray, Jacob Sutton, Kyle Richardson, Zoe Patel, Tim Pierce, Zach Smar, Rachel Stacks. Our novice coaches, Amira Ali, Sarah Darling, and Jacob Sutton with the novice women, August Felso and Andrew Castillo with the novice men. Our varsity coaches, Sean Gibble, Matt Page, co-interim head coaches with the varsity men, Orhan Arabach, also with the varsity men, Lauren Smeeting, Sarah Hudnall, George Virgo, and Liza Joyce, who've worked with our varsity women, and Chris Waite and Josie Lewis, who assisted with strength and conditioning. Two people that may not always be super visible in their operational roles are our program coordinator and our boathouse manager. They make my job easier and are a crucial part of AJRA. Thank you to Sarah Paulk and Anthony Phillips. And now, to the reason we're all here tonight, or whenever you may be watching this virtual banquet. Thank you to each and every one of our athletes. Many of you have heard me say this before. While we as coaches may work here at AJ, it's your club and it's your family. You guys are the substance of this organization. Your hard work makes this club something to be proud of. I hope that each of you know wherever you're headed next, summer vacation, school in the fall, or your next great adventure, you'll always have a home here at AJ. To the class of 2020, I think it's fair to say we're never gonna forget this spring. I'm sorry your last season ended this way, but I hope you know the value each of you has added to the club over your years. That's enough of me talking. Let's hear from some of our coaches about their years and their athletes.
Hey everyone, I'm Coach Andrew and this is Coach August. We're going to be talking about the 2019-2020 season. Starting off with the fall, we got a lot more water time obviously, which is great for you guys. There was a lot of improvement when it came to your technique on the water, a lot of dedication on land, which got us a medal at Nashville, and our 8 did a solid job at Head of the Hooch as well.
I joined in the spring, starting to coach you guys, and from the very first day, I noticed how eager you all were. You were all super coachable from the get-go. You all wanted to improve, you just wanted to know what to do. I really liked that about the group. I gave you 2 things to start with. First was to be coachable, and second was to be driven. And we pushed you on those 2 points a lot on the water, lots of pause drills and technique work, and also on the erg. Tons of erging, tons of hard workouts, and I think you guys really brought it working on those 2 points. Going into erg sprints, which was pretty much our only event, we were both really impressed with how you did. And about 95% of you guys got personal bests at erg sprints. We also got 2 medals in the U15 event, which was awesome. Coming out of erg sprints, I gave you 2 more things. I wanted you to learn how to enjoy being on the erg, and 2, I wanted you to learn how to work when no one else was watching. I thought those were points that we could improve on, and unfortunately, I feel like I jinxed us all a bit because we ended up getting tons of time to be on the erg and tons of time to work when no one else was watching. So we went into quarantine. I think we all thought it was going to be a week or 2, and it ended up being a lot more weeks than that. But I was impressed that you guys were able to stay flexible and to keep putting in the work in an imperfect circumstance, which isn't an easy thing to do. And definitely at least 95% of everyone ended up putting in solid work and getting stronger. So we're both super, super proud of how the season went, even though it wasn't the season any of us wanted. So the first award we're gonna present is the Coach's Award. So the guy who gets this award, he joined in the spring, and I'm pretty sure his first day was a 2K, which was just a great way for him to start. And surprisingly enough, he seemed to enjoy it as much as you can. He jumped right in and threw himself into the pain. He had a goal, he did it at a high rate, and he's been completely 100% engaged since that first day. The award's gonna go to Evan Graham. On the water, we've given him tons of encouragement and also coaching. He had tons of things he was working on the water, and he made a lot of improvement on the short time he had. I'm pretty sure almost every day we were shouting his name, and he always just took it in stride and was willing to get better and use the critique to move on. Fitness-wise, he was super driven from the get-go. He came to us maybe the second week in, wanting to talk about what he could do on the side to improve his endurance. He was doing runs in addition to the work he was doing at practice. But the time he really started to shine through was during the quarantine. He started to take personal responsibility for his workouts, and he really pushed through the whole time, putting in the long hours on the erg, doing all the workouts that were set forward, showing up to the Zooms, interacting with the coaches, he was just always fully engaged. And talking with Evan during this time really felt like I was talking with an athlete. I mean, he just really had his own personal goals. He was really owning what he was doing. And going into regionals, he was one of the few rowers that got a personal best on the regionals 2K, which I'm sure you guys know wasn't an easy thing to do after a long, long time alone. So we're both really proud of Evan. Congratulations. All right, our next award is the Most Improved Award, and this one's gonna go to Ben Martin. He's one of the kids that was there for the whole year. He started out in the fall. He's a tiny kid. He had a lot of improvements to make technique-wise, and coming into the spring, he never shied away from that. He took his work by the reins, he went in and he pushed himself forward in a way that is just honestly really inspirational to both coaches and I think to everyone else on the squad. In the early days of the spring, Ben was mostly seemed like the peanut gallery. I mean, he was always just joking around, complaining about workouts, always talking, and maybe about a month in,
Great laugh though.
great laugh, great jokes, but about a month in, I started seeing something else in him as far as the workouts he started to do on his own and the way he started to push and practice and also talk with the coaches about how he could improve technically. In the quarantine, Ben just really went ham. And I know a lot of you guys had stuff going on, family-wise, school-wise, and Ben was just so dedicated. He was doing 2 to 3 workouts a day, he was doing crazy CrossFit workouts, and he was just getting stronger. Every erg piece he did, he improved on, and he made a lot of technical improvements over the time on the Zoom meetings, and he looked like a completely different rower at the end. And I mean, the kid just blows me away. His work ethic, his drive, and that's not something we gave him, that's something that is just a part of him. Just amazing, amazing improvements. So congratulations, Ben.
Hi, I'm Coach Sarah.
I'm Coach Jacob.
And I'm Coach Amira.
And we're the novice women's coaches here to give a recap of our 2019-2020 season and to present our awards. The fall season with the novice women was off to a great start. We were very fortunate that practically all of the girls on our squad had rowing experience with D-Squad or summer camps, so we were able to hit the ground running in August. We saw a lot of great successes early on with our first race and continued to grow and improve a lot as a team. We were very happy with our end of the season that culminated at the head of the hooch, and we were proud of how much our girls came together as a team and how well they raced and showed a lot of maturity at the regatta.
In January, we picked up right where we left off in the fall and continued in the growth and success that we had had. Unfortunately, due to the outbreak of coronavirus, we were thrown a major curveball and had to adjust on the fly and overcome a lot of obstacles. Even though we didn't get to measure our success in races like we had in the fall, we still saw a lot of growth as athletes, rowers, and teammates through other metrics, such as how we supported each other and grew despite the obstacles and continue to improve. And we're really excited to see how this growth will carry over into future seasons.
When we as coaches sat to reflect on the past season and the past year, one theme that was really consistent was the theme of growth. Not only physical growth, but how the team has really come very far in their emotional and personal development. Being on land for most of the spring season has really forced us all to focus on how to be better teammates off the water and how to find that internal drive and motivation and support each other. I'm really happy with the growth and all the development from this past season and really proud of the girls and where we're ending at the end of the spring.
As we talked about throughout the season, there's a lot of growth and improvement that we see, and one of the best parts about being novice coaches is that when all of you all come in, there's so much room for improvement. That's why it makes selecting the most improved rower very difficult. However, for this particular rower, she came in with little to no rowing experience, grew technically on the erg, and as a teammate and a leader, kind of exponential growth. And that was really exciting for us to see. She came in the fall and had a lot of room for improvement, and worked really hard, was always asking us questions about how she could improve, made huge technical changes, and then in the spring really kind of flipped a switch and started pushing up to that next level. Became one of the top 8 ergs and was constantly pushing herself to get faster, started pushing her teammates as well and bringing them with her, always wanting to improve, and really did. So the most improved rower is KATHRYN STARNES, aka EK.
For the Coaches Award, it was a pretty clear decision. This rower really stood out from the very beginning as being someone who is a great teammate and very vocal and supportive of her teammates. In addition, she put all of her effort into every single practice, and from the very beginning always wanted to know how she could be a better teammate, a better supporter of our goals and our program, as well as a better athlete. So we're really excited to give the Coaches Award to Lily Melton. Congratulations, Lily. We're really excited to see how you continue to grow and contribute to AJRA.
Hello again. In case you forgot, it's me, Coach Jacob. I'm here to celebrate the time-honored AJRA tradition of giving wrenches to the novices as they pass on to varsity. The wrenches are not actually this big, but they say the camera adds 10 pounds. As you take your wrench, please use it as a reminder not only of your wonderful times as a novice rower here at AJRA, but also to crank it up a notch when you go to varsity. We're so proud of how you have been as novice rowers, and we look forward to seeing the success you continue to have on varsity.
As 2019 and 2020 proved to be an incredibly odd year for everybody, it was definitely no different for the varsity men. We started the fall season with up in the teens of seniors that had graduated the year before, so we really needed to take a moment and focus on growth and development with our guys and our athletes, and really just emphasize how we would improve in the months to come and seasons to come. We raced at Music City Head Race, which we showed great success there. We raced at Head of the Hooch, had good success there. We qualified our Varsity 8 at Head of the Charles to race next year, which is a big feat always. We even scrimmaged Georgia Tech, scrimmaged St. Andrews. We did everything we could to make sure we promoted race experience and growth so we can get faster in the months to come.
In the winter, we worked really hard on the erg, and we started to implement new ways to work in small boats and doubles and pairs, and kind of give all the athletes some more one-on-one time working through some technique. Ended up making some huge technical strides while also making huge physical strides on land and on the water. All the while powering through record rains, tough weather, having a few flips here and there, but we powered through it and definitely improved.
And then moving to the spring season, taking what we learned in the fall and all the small boat work we did in the winter, we hopped back into big boats and really applied that new knowledge, and we're looking forward to making those boats go fast, and had a good showing at the erg sprints, won a number of medals and hammers, and then we moved virtual for the spring season. So we took the team, worked out a training plan, and worked with our athletes 3 or 4 days a week virtually, and then also talked with them about how they can continue to work hard and grow. And then we entered a number of races, medaling in a few at the Cooper Cup, moved through the March Mania bracket, as well as the Southeast Regionals, and qualified a number of boats for nationals that will continue on training here for the next few weeks.
One thing that I didn't want to leave out, we do have 2 new 6K erg records that were set this year. We have Ben Talent for the heavyweight men's 6K record, and we have Sandro Scalfi for the freshman 6K record. Even though we did have to go virtual, it was not ideal for anyone, but kind of checking in with the different results that we saw, our team, our squad had a huge showing, a huge participation factor, and that just really goes to show and how driven and motivated these guys are, these student athletes are, and it's something that I told them a couple of weeks ago. It just goes to show how successful they will be when we're actually on the boathouse, how driven they'll be once we're actually able to train on the water. And we're looking forward for when we're actually able to get back on the water to showcase our results and our tenacity once we've been staying in quarantine. Coach Matt and I will be announcing the recipients for the Coaches Award and the Most Improved Award for the varsity men.
The Coaches Award goes to the rower on the team that makes AJRA who AJRA is. It's the rower who we believe helps the team become better in itself, and without that rower we wouldn't be the team we are today.
The Most Improved Award will go to the rower that has shown the greatest strides from the first day that they stepped on this boathouse parking lot to the very last day of practice, just always showing that they want to get better, and they actually show that they have shown great growth.
This year's Coaches Award is going to a rower who is always one of the first at practice, always eager to be here, always ready to learn anything he can about rowing and make himself faster and just really grow within the sport. He rowed everything from the single to the 8 this year. He's one of the most positive people we have here on the team. And as he grew on the water, he was growing off the water and getting faster. And we could count on him at any time to execute a workout on the water in a sculling boat and be a leader there, and even on land and help with lifting or is encouraging his teammates erging. Without this rower, the varsity men would not be as great as it is without him. This year's Coaches Award is going to Dennis Ilskoy.
Next we have the Varsity Men Most Improved Award. Thinking back on this athlete, I remember seeing him during the winter training, just kind of a raw and unstructured rower, an unstructured athlete. Through lots of time in small boats and lots of time on the erg, he became someone that was incredibly coachable and incredibly moldable, which is the quintessential athlete that you want as a coach. Through his shaky technique turned into him understanding the mechanics of the rowing stroke, to where he just improved so fast and so quickly that he eventually became a contender for the Varsity 8, the 1V. So the recipient for this year's Most Improved Rower goes to Sam Brennan.
This has certainly been a year to remember for all of AJRA and for the varsity women. We came into the fall in August looking to create a team that was caring, supportive, great teammates, but also the fastest women's team we've ever had at AJRA. All of those boxes were checked, even without a spring season on the water. Our team dynamic this year, led by the team, was awesome and so fun to watch, so fun to be a part of. Not without hiccups along the way, but certainly with the captains we had, the senior leaders, and all the way through our juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, they've made a great impact and really came together on and off the water.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Sarah. I'm one of the coaches for the varsity women here. I first want to just say congratulations to all of the seniors for all the work you've put in both at school and here at AJ. We will really miss you and can't wait to see what all you go on to do. So I am presenting the awards. The first one I want to do is the Most Improved Award. So this award goes to the athlete who's shown the most development throughout the year. When the coaches sat down to discuss who's getting what, who should the awards go to, we knew right away who this one should go to. In 3 years that she's been here, she's shown a constant drive to improve, always asking for feedback, for video, for drills, just everything she can do to make herself a better teammate. I'm excited to say that this year's Most Improved Award goes to Sarah Grace Allen. Sarah Grace spent most of her junior year training and racing in the single, which we know can be a really challenging and lonely boat. After putting in the work, her junior spring and summer, Sarah Grace came into her senior year ready to go. She earned a spot to the head of the Charles in the quad, and then went on to place 4th in the quad at head of the hooch. All of those practices, steering around the Chattahoochee, really paid off when she had to bow down the course. In maybe her greatest accomplishment this year, Sarah Grace's team placed 1st in the Rowers' Choice National Championship. Sarah Grace's team won first place out of over 175 teams, and they won by 1/10 of 1 second. Sarah Grace is going on to row at Smith College next year, and I can't wait to see everything that she does there. Congrats, Sarah Grace. Next up is the Coaches Award. The Coaches Award is given to the person who embodies being a great athlete and a great teammate. The person that you would want in your boat no matter what. She makes a difference every time she steps into the boathouse and pushes the team to be better every single day. Without her, the team would not be what it is. Congratulations to Olivia Hadley for winning this year's Coaches Award. Everyone who knows Olivia knows that she's a constant source of positivity, always laughing and has a joke ready. She also has an amazing work ethic and is willing to do whatever it takes to make her team better. During her time here, Olivia has been a consistent member of her top boats, racing all around the country. She is ready for whatever the coaches throw at her, and we throw a lot. Last year at regionals, as her lightweight 8 was preparing to launch for their first race of the weekend, Coach Sarah moved Olivia from 5 seat of the 8 to stroke seat. Olivia didn't question it, just hopped right in and led the boat to a bid at nationals. There's not very many athletes that coaches would feel comfortable with swapping the lineup right before a race when a nationals berth is on the line, and Olivia is one of them. She is a leader by example, both in her work ethic and her positivity. She is determined to be the best teammate possible and to make her team be the best team possible. Olivia shows up ready to win and ready to fight every time she steps into a boat. Congratulations to Olivia.
Hey everybody, Coach George here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Bronikowski Award. The Bronikowski Award was the brainchild of Coach John Pearson, and he wanted to name an award after Dr. Bronikowski, who was the club president from 2000 to 2001, and it's an award that is voted on for rowers by rowers.
Hello everyone, my name is Kunal Vohra, and it is my pleasure to be able to announce the recipient of the Bronikowski Award tonight. The Bronikowski Award is a prestigious award meant to recognize the rower that inspires his teammates to be the best. But what truly makes this award special is that it is voted on by the rowers. AJRA is a family, and everyone a part of this family knows that this guy deserves this award. Being a part of AJRA means more than just going fast and pulling hard. It means being a good human being. The recipient of this award not only personifies all the traits associated with Dr. Jerry Bronikowski, but he is also the perfect representation of what everyone at AJ should strive to be. This guy puts 110% effort into everything he does, and while literally pouring his blood, sweat, and tears into it, he still finds time to laugh and bring joy to everyone around him. Simply put, he's an amazing human being. For the past 3 years, I've had the privilege of rowing alongside him and learning countless life lessons from him. While physical prowess is a required facet of rowing, mental toughness is a prerequisite. This guy has both, but it's his never say never attitude that makes him special. He has the ability to maintain fixing, staring, unbending resolve in the face of adversity. It's a quality that has served him well in rowing and will continue to serve him well in his time beyond. In an effort to emulate him, he has made me a better rower and a better person. But this guy is so much more than just a teammate to me. He's one of my best friends. And I'm sure a bunch of other people agree with me when I say he's the best type of friend to have. He'll always be there for you, no matter what, just because that's who he is. His infectious happiness can be seen through all the love he exudes to everyone, and his unmatched passion can be seen through his cuts to make weight. Dominique Florio, I'm gonna cherish the memories we've made together. I'll never forget the mountains of food we got at Nationals last year. Sorry, Coach Sarah. The NASA men's rompers we impulsively bought, the races we've won with you at 3-seat, our lake days, workout grinds to the entire Mamma Mia soundtrack, especially Gimme Gimme, hitting them where it hurts and killing them softly, and the absurd amount of CC's pizza you ate after cutting weight. Ironically, for being skinny boys, a bunch of our memories have to do with food. So go pick up some peanut butter because maybe it's time to get back to those lightweight days. Rocky Balboa once said, "Every champion was once a contender who refused to give up." Dom, you are a champion. You embody this quote, you embody Rocky, you embody the Wolf Pack, and you embody Dr. Jerry Bronikowski. Congratulations on receiving the Bronikowski Award. You deserve it. Good luck at Marist, and I'm excited to see what big things you achieve. I love you, man, and Tuesday forever.
Hi, I'm Ruby Davenport, and I'm going to be talking about the Bronikowski Award today. Being a part of this team for so long, I can attest that AJRIA feels like a family. The people make it feel that way. Even if I'm dreading a workout, I look forward to going to practice every day to see my teammates who have become some of my closest friends. While everyone on Varsity Women contributes to making it seem like a family, there is one particular person who has brought a certain light. The Bronikowski Award is given to a perfect embodiment of a teammate, one who is supportive, inspiring, and betters the team. She's not just hardworking and committed to the sport, but makes an even bigger effort to make everyone around her feel welcomed. She arrives at practice every day with a smile on. She makes even the hardest days bearable because of her amazing attitude. This year's award goes to someone who has actually lifted the mood of the entire team. Everyone's experience on Varsity Women is made better because of her. She has the biggest heart. To put it simply, she just radiates joy. She knows how to make people laugh, and even when Coach Sarah gets mad at us, this girl lightens the mood and calms us all down. She is a friend to every single person and makes everyone seem like they are seen, valued, and known. This year, the Bronikowski Award goes to Maria Odie. Odie, you have made such a huge impact on this team. I remember when you and I had our knee injuries this season. Even if we had to do an alternative workout or sit in a lunch, you never complained, not once. From the moment I met you, you made me feel encouraged and made practice fun. I think all the Varsity Women would agree. You have this ability to cheer us up if we're in a bad mood or having a bad day. No matter who a girl is, you ask her how her erg piece went. You tell every girl good job, even if it wasn't her absolute best. I seriously can't think of one negative comment you've ever made. You make a point to talk to the entire team like you want them to feel special. Your heart is beautiful. I know everyone would back me up on that. You see the good in every situation and brighten up every room you walk into. Thank you for making this team seem like a family. I think we have you to thank for that. You've been the glue that's held us together. I can't think of anyone else who deserves this award more than you do.
Now we're going to talk about the Lifetime Achievement Awards. These awards are for people that have rowed for AJRA for 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years. Being alumni of AJRA, that means a lot to have someone that has been through the program for that period of time. I would like to congratulate you on your time here at AJRA, and best of luck for the future.
Those rowers who rowed for 4 years are Claire Chang, Megan Cosgrove, Olivia Hadley, Chris Halliwell, Maria Odie, and Ben Talents. Those that rowed for 5 years are Greta Dalby, Ruby Davenport, Hannah Dean, Jack Jackson, Bea Lee, Reagan Lynch, Nick Schaub, Kunal Vohra, and Rena Westerfield. And the one rower who rowed for 6 years is Zoë Bishop.
Next on our program, you'll get a chance to hear from our team captains. This year we had 6 captains, 3 on our men's team and 3 on our women's team. Thank you for your leadership, including during all the hard times.
Hi. To everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Bea Lee. I'd like to start this speech by thanking everyone who's helped me grow as an athlete and as a person through the past 4 years. So thank you, Mom and Dad, Oscar, Coach Sarah, Coach Lauren, and thank you to everyone else who's coached me along the way. I'd also like to thank all of my wonderful teammates who've made these past 4 years memorable, and all the parents who volunteered their time to make this club great. This is not how anyone imagined spring season looking, and it's not how I pictured my last season of rowing and my last banquet, and I know that other seniors feel the same way. I'm sad about all the time we lost together, but losing this has made me so much more thankful for the time I did choose to spend rowing. I feel no regrets coming out of my time rowing, and I'm so thankful for all the winter and summer seasons I decided to do on top of spring and fall, and for all the nights I spent hanging out with my friends after practice, even though I didn't always finish my homework. To everyone that still has a couple of years left here, spend as much time with these awesome people as you can, because I know you'll miss it once it's gone. On top of the great friendships I've made, every moment spent at the boathouse has helped me grow so much as a person. Rowing taught me so many lessons that will impact me for the rest of my life. When I first started rowing, I was very ambitious and hoped to be just like my big brother, who was breaking records as a freshman. I poured my heart into the sport, but I could never quite live up to him, and I always felt unsatisfied with myself as a rower, even when I had my successes. I kept up the sport, but eventually I felt so discouraged I told Coach Sarah I was going to quit. Fortunately, she let me take a break to decide if that was what I really wanted to do. And that time away showed me what I was missing. This community is so special and so worth your time. Thinking about the amount of "how are you" and "I miss you" texts that I got while I was away made me feel so loved. I came back to rowing, but this time I didn't make my goal a success. My goal was just to enjoy every moment at practice and at regattas with my teammates. This change improved my quality of life so much, and I would encourage all the rowers listening to try and make this change themselves. I became the fastest I'd ever been this year, the year where I let go of the pressure I put on myself to be fast. All of my coaches have always said, it's just an erg piece, and it really is. It's just a race, and if you're lucky, you get to race again. If not, if that race was really your last one, even if you didn't come close to winning and you had no idea it was your last race, you'll have happy memories of it if you choose to make it fun. I'm thankful for my last regionals, the first place medal our 2V managed to earn by milliseconds in my last 2K as we rode together for the first time in a mixed lineup. I'm thankful for my last real head of the hooch regatta, where Aaron and I managed to get 7th in the pair, even though we'd never been in one before. I'm still not sure if we were more surprised or Coach Sarah was. And I'm especially thankful for our last day at practice, being able to race one last time and finally to be able to take home a St. Andrews shirt after years of work. It felt good. And even though I dreamed of this last regionals and had been so hopeful for nationals, I'm so incredibly happy I'm leaving this sport with funny and proud memories of my last race. Rowing taught me that hard work is important, but you should always want to do the work, and you should be happy to do it. If you aren't enjoying it, make a change in your life. Rowing, just like most things, is as enjoyable as you make it. Make it fun, so just in case it's your last time, just in case something happens, you won't have any regrets.
Hi, I'm Reagan. I'm one of the varsity women captains this year. During this time away, I could have chosen to focus on all the things I'm missing out on because of the pandemic. Graduation, my last season of racing, but most importantly, the last couple of months I would have gotten with my best friends. But instead I tried to think about the experiences we did get to have. Making it to nationals by 0.4 seconds, getting to fit in Crom, the training trip, and probably the biggest accomplishment in my rowing career, winning best costume at Sandbar Scramble. But nothing beats the little things. Coming to practice every day and seeing everyone's smiling faces because we get to do our favorite thing. After practice snacks in the parking lot that turn into dinner because we never stop talking. Or finally getting that 1 second PR that you've been training for 3 months. I also think about the trying times. The times that were absolutely miserable but made us into the rowers and the people we are today. Whether it was grueling workouts, time management of school and rowing, having to mentally overcome COVID workouts by ourselves, or practicing through terrible weather. None of it was as bad as Tinsley's backsplash for an entire practice, but still pretty miserable. I've seen this team go through a lot, and through it all we've become stronger. The strength of the girls on this team inspires me to work harder every day. Because of them, I've reached goals that I used to think were impossible, and I've seen every single girl on this team do the same. This team has supported each other and shown courage, grit, and confidence through everything. This team has given me a family and a place that I can always count on. To the coaches who believed in me even when I didn't, and the teammates who had my back through all the highs and lows, you are the reason that I am forever proud to have Atlanta on my back. To the seniors of 2020, most of you have been with me from the beginning, and if not, it feels like you have because life wouldn't be the same without you. Although our time at AJRA is ending like this, we have been so lucky to have been a part of such an incredible experience. You are all such amazing people, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for everyone. But no matter where life takes us, I know that we will all have a special place in our hearts for AJRA, and we'll never forget where we're from.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoë Bishop. As some of you know, I haven't always rowed here at AJ. I rowed at SA through my freshman year and I transitioned to AJ summer going into my sophomore year. I will not lie, my expectations were low, and not to mention I was terrified of Coach Sarah. But my expectations were beyond exceeded, and now Coach Sarah loves me. You may not be able to tell, but it's true. I had just met these people and they were acting like they'd known me forever. They welcomed me with open arms. Through this club, I've made some of the best relationships and memories I will cherish forever. Being a part of this team hasn't only encouraged me to be my best self, but has helped me encourage others to become their best selves. I never expected to become so close to these girls to expect them to vote me as one of their captains, and for that I am extremely grateful. To my teammates, I say thank you. These girls are some of the best friends I've made and some of the most amazing athletes, women, and people I have ever met. Excuse my language, but these ladies are totally badass. I also want to give a shout out to the whole AJRA community for making this amazing club what it is today. We couldn't have done it without you. Whether it was rowing through a monsoon or some of Coach Lauren's favorite 100-part pause drills, this team went through it all. We will always be together, and the memories here will always stay in my heart. Sadly, our spring season was abruptly taken from us this year. It was really hard to stay positive through all of this sadness. I'd never seen the team so shrunken and disappointed. Something kept everyone together, and that was the positive attitudes from one another. We were able to overcome this feeling of defeat simply by being there for one another without being with one another. Reminding each other of the hard work we had done and how much we care for each other. I am beyond proud to say that I'm a part of a team of optimistic, hard-working young women. Through the support of this fantastic team, we were able to become virtual national champions in this super tough time. Never in my life did I think I'd be blessed enough to be a part of something so amazing. These girls are more than my team, they're my family. AJRA is more than just a boathouse, it's my home. Thank you to everyone that's a part of the AJRA family for showing me what it means to be resilient, independent, and confident. Thank you for the incredible opportunities you've given me. With the wisdom I've gained over the past 3 years, I'm ready to face the world head on, and everyone here is responsible for helping me become the person I am today. Words cannot express my gratitude. Thank you, AJRA.
Hello everyone, my name is Kunal Vohra, and it has been my pleasure to be a varsity men's team captain for this past year. I want to start this with one of Coach Rob's stories. Once upon a time, in a vast wooded area with birds chirping around, there was a bear and a rabbit. Both of these animals were just minding each other's business. The bear had just finished eating some berries, and the rabbit had just finished eating some celery, when all of a sudden, both of these animals had a sudden urge to use the restroom. After finding some privacy and doing their business, the bear looked around, realizing he didn't have any toilet paper. Suddenly, he made eye contact with the white fluffy rabbit, and he had an epiphany. He picked up the white rabbit, which oddly resembled some toilet paper, and I'll let you guys figure out the rest of that story. Anyways, the moral of the story has nothing to do with the handling of the current toilet paper shortage, but it is that life is a competition, and in every act you do, you should always strive to be the best. Compete at everything you do, and life is yours for the taking. The Rabbit and the Bear is an infamous story told by Coach Rob, and in a very indirect, metaphorical, and interesting way, he was trying to tell us to never hold back. Always put 100% effort in everything you do, and you will succeed. Although this was told to us in the context of rowing, it applies to everything in life. As the 29 seniors embark on the next step in their life, we should all strive to be the bear. Mow through our competition, because the only thing in between us and success is a scrawny little rabbit. This lesson is just one of countless ones that rowing has taught us, from the stereotypical lessons such as perseverance and ambition, to the more unconventional ones, such as patience and communication. Rowing has crafted me into the person I am today. But these lessons did not come easy. Every single one of us has been through pain as we finished up a 2K, frustration when we couldn't fix our catches, pride when we beat SA by open water, and excitement when we made the boat that we've been striving for. But unfortunately, this roller coaster of emotion ends with sadness since this past season got canceled. And for the 29 seniors, this is especially hurtful. Senior spring season was the season I've been excited for since I started rowing. Clemson sprints, Florida sprints, Dogwood, regionals, and hopefully nationals were all going to be amazing. High school rowing came to an end in a way none of us had hoped for. But we should not taint the memories that came before. Instead of focusing on what didn't happen, we need to focus on what did happen and what will happen. Yes, 2020 has sucked so far, but through all the struggles and sadness, our AJ family has gotten closer than ever. We are a true wolf pack now, and I expect every rower to carry on this mentality into next year. This is not going to be the year where we had a virtual regionals. This is the year when we won team points at erg sprints, when both of our men's and women's lightweight eights placed in the top 5 at Hooch, and when every single boat, except one, placed in the top 4 at Music City. We need to build off these positives this year to keep the AJ legacy going and to be as successful as possible in the years to come. So yes, I am telling you to be both a bear and a wolf. Be the bear that mows through its competition, but be the wolf that it's only as strong as the weakest member of its pack. I'm sorry for all the animal analogies, but you can thank Coach Rob for his metaphors. Thank you everyone for letting me be your captain this year, and I'm excited to see what big things are in store. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Florio, and I was lucky to be captain alongside Chris and Kunal this season. I'll never forget the first time I was talking to a school friend about rowing. We were walking down the hallway and he asked me if I was going to row at St. Andrews. I responded with, no, I think I'm rowing at AJC or something like that. However, we both went on to find out that the AJC is actually the Atlanta Journal's constitution, and I in fact was not rowing for them. I was rowing for AJRA, which is Atlanta Junior Rowing Association. However, over time at AJRA, I gave it a new name, and that is more of my home. It may seem cheesy, but this grew on me because it was a place that always brought me happiness or comfort in any way. Like many other teenagers, I really struggled to find my place in high school. However, I was lucky to have a friend in my school's weightlifting class come up to me and say that rowing may possibly be a good sport for me. For some reason, I decided to trust him on it. I began my rowing career as a novice my sophomore year. I learned a lot quickly and realized that I would give anything to be better at this sport. I worked as hard as I could and was able to go to regionals. It was at this regatta that my passion for the sport grew, and it was also here that I met my fellow captain and best friend, Chris Halliwell. I was attempting to strap a boat on top of the trailer when this massive individual came up to help me. I was under the impression that he had to be a senior. However, I was wrong. He was actually just an absolute unit. Over the summer after regionals, I worked harder than I ever had to get onto varsity and into a priority. I made some more friends during this time, and it all paid off at the start of the fall season because I was placed on varsity in the lightweight 8, which was prioritized. I learned many lessons and made many lifelong friends while in this boat. One of these friends is my other fellow captain, Kunal. This friendship is purely based on the great technical advice he's given me and his great taste in tiger striped trout. I continued to give my all for this boat and the entire team. However, at regionals, my heart was absolutely broken when we were unable to qualify for nationals. I am really thick-headed though, and I refused to give up that easy. I was determined to go to Nats. After many difficult sea races, I was told I would be bowing the double at nationals. I was so excited and stressed at the same time. But it is crazy ironic because Wyatt Moss, the same person that led me to this sport in the first place, was the other person who would be in the boat with me. It's crazy how full circle that is. After this, senior year came along and many new faces came onto the team. I learned many new things about each teammate, but here are some things I want them to learn first. No matter how many erg pieces you have to do, how much weight needs to be lost, or how much frustration comes from a bad practice, try to always be eager to come back the next day for more, because you know the tremendous joys, lessons, and growth that can come from each practice. Here's an analogy for that. One practice stands out in particular. It was my junior year in the light 8, and I was sitting in 3-seat when I heard a noise in the rigger behind me. Turns out a goose had gotten a little stuck in it and was trying to get out. After a second, it managed to get out and poop on me in the process. You may be wondering how this relates to the beauty of rowing. It shows all the sides of the wonderful sport. Some days you get to practice and a goose poops on you and is really not your day. Other days you clean yourself off, pick yourself up, and make it a great day on the water. But no matter what happens, you always know that your teammates will be there to laugh with you and make any situation even better. Now here are some things I've learned from my teammates this year. You guys are something else. You are in great positions in an amazing club that give you so many opportunities. Take advantage of everything you guys get because you all have something so special about yourselves, and I can't wait to see just how far you'll take it. All in all, at the end of the day, I am thankful. Thankful for the beautiful sunrises and sunsets on the water, thankful for AJRA and everything it has done for me and others, and thankful for being a captain this year and getting to become friends with so many new teammates.
Hi, my name is Christopher Halliwell, and I served as one of AJRA's varsity men team captains this year. I wrote this speech to give thanks to the team and sport that have given me so much and changed my life beyond what I could have ever imagined. When you get the rhythm in an 8, it's pure pleasure to be in it. It's not hard work when the rhythm comes, that swing as they call it. I've heard men shriek. When that swing comes in an 8, it's a thing they'll never forget for as long as they live. Now those words may seem familiar to all of you, and that's probably because it's from a book I'm sure most of you have read. It's called Boys in the Boat. I've read this book on countless occasions, and every time those specific words stick out to me. And that's because they encompass everything that I've learned the past 4 years rowing for AJRA. My first experience at the boathouse, which I now consider a second home, came 4 years ago when my mom had to force me out of the car to attend a Learn to Row day after I threw an embarrassing temper tantrum because I didn't want to try something new. I'd spent my entire life playing basketball, but then after 2 years of excruciating knee surgeries and learning that I wouldn't be able to run again, I realized it was time to try something new. I was forced into a boat, and after a lot of hesitation and a lot of doubt, I realized that something at 245 Azalea Drive was magical, something that would change me for the better. Fast forward to present day, and I realized that this family and this team and this sport has changed me beyond what I could have ever imagined. The first lesson that I learned was hard work. This came from one of my greatest mentors, Zach Smar. Our novice year, it felt like we spent more time on the land than on the water, and we were spending countless hours on the erg, and even more doing circuits over and over again, especially those 750 rep circuits when someone forgot to text that they would be late. However, eventually there came a moment when I realized that I kind of enjoyed that pain. And I took this as a place to grow and a place to better myself. And a couple years later, after I can finally call Coach Smar a friend, he made me realize that those punishments were anything but that. They were an opportunity to teach us newbies what it meant to be part of the AJRA family. The second lesson I learned was teamwork. In rowing, it takes on a whole new meaning. When a simple motion becomes so difficult, when 8 different people are trying to do the exact same thing to force a boat down the race course as fast as they can. I can't name a specific moment that this really clicked for me, but I do know that every year you have to relearn that sense of teamwork. And throughout the season, everyone's going to learn that meaning of teamwork at a different pace. But one by one, everyone's going to figure it out. And eventually, you're going to achieve speed. And that's what our goal here, isn't it? Final lesson I was taught was trust. This means trust in the process, trust in the team, trust in your family, trust in your friends, and especially trust in yourself. This concept was the most difficult for me to understand. I really struggled to let my guard down and let other people in. I don't like to rely on others. I like to do things for myself. However, at the beginning of the 2019 season, I finally figured out how to let my barriers down. It was the culmination of our toughest winter training yet, but we had not quite lived up to our own hype on the water. We had been getting faster on the erg, but our water speed just wasn't correlating. Through the weeks that seemed like months of time trials and seat racing, it seemed as though nothing was getting better. However, one fateful day, we launched from the dock, and during our daily talks that were normally fueled by jokes and banter, we took it a bit more seriously. We placed our goals and aspirations out in the open. We wanted to believe in each other so that we could complement ourselves with the other people's belief in us. This trust allowed us to get our first moment of swing in our warm-up. We were able to take that for the rest of the practice and for many more practices for the rest of the season. We got a sense of curvature and speed that I'd never achieved before, never felt before, and it really was magical. It goes back to that quote, and I believe every single word. I know it's tough for many of you to understand how a word as simple as swing can be so meaningful to me and my career at AJRA. But if you look at all the lessons I've learned, the friendships I've made, the disappointments I've faced, and the great moments that I've experienced, you can finally understand. And none of this would have been possible without the family that AJRA provides, and for my mom for forcing me out of the car after that embarrassing temper tantrum 4 years ago.
Coach Matt and I will be celebrating the 11 graduating seniors of the class of 2020. While we are incredibly sad that the season wasn't able to finish out, we are still so very proud of these student athletes and all they were able to accomplish. The first senior on our list is Chris Halliwell, one of our other team captains. Chris is someone who made a great team captain, not just because he was always looking for what could make his boat faster, what could make him faster, but he was always thinking about the team and boats that he wasn't necessarily in. He was always thinking about how can we bring everyone together in a more cohesive environment, a more cohesive culture, trying to bring everyone to grow to become the best team that we can. Outside of being a great team captain, he's incredibly driven. He's insanely smart, and he will be attending Northeastern University in the fall.
All right, our next graduating senior is Nick Schaub. Nick is one of our lightweight rowers who has also been successful in the open category. This past spring, he was injured a good bit, but still put in a lot of hard work on land and on the water when he could get out to take some strokes. Nick is one of the rowers that is always there asking questions, how he can be faster, what he can do to be a better oarsman, and is always ready to take up any knowledge that we have to give him on how to be a better rower. He has been a great addition to the team and has pushed the lightweights as well as the open rowers as fast as possible. Nick will be attending Dartmouth College in the fall.
The next senior that we are talking about is Jack Jackson. Since I've known Jack, he's been riddled with the shoulder injury that has kind of prevented him from doing what he wanted to accomplish his senior year. Despite that, Jack has been someone that's been incredibly driven and has been always been the guy that we can count on when he's called upon to be needed. Throughout all of that, Jack became a core member of our Varsity 8 that re-qualified at the head of the Charles Regatta last fall, which is a huge feat in and of itself. Jack will be attending CU Boulder next fall.
All right, up next we have Dom Florio as one of our team captains and graduating seniors. He's been a great asset on the team to help guide the varsity men and lead us through the fall and spring seasons. He will be attending Marist rowing in the fall, so we wish him the best of luck there. He is arguably not one of the fastest rowers on the team, but he rows with heart and puts in some of the hardest work. He's always helping his other teammates get faster, and his dedication to the sport pushes everyone along.
The next senior that we have is Daniel Cooper. Thinking back, Daniel Cooper is probably one of the biggest team players that I've seen at AJRA. In all the time that I've spent with the team, at least, I can't recall a practice that he's missed. Anything that ever needed done, Daniel was always one of the first ones to step in and volunteer his help. Talking with the other coaches when we were loading for the trailer, that was just a big event, and Daniel was essentially a trailer guru that knew the ins and outs for everything. I don't even know how he knew some of the boating positions before some of the other coaches, but he was just always one to be able to help out when needed. Daniel will be attending Georgia Tech in the fall. The next senior that we have up is Colby Mirando. Colby actually attends my alma mater, South Forsyth High School, and looking back, I actually looked through the rosters. There's maybe 1 or 2 rowers that come from that school every 4 years, so he's in a world that none of his classmates even really know what rowing is. So that just goes to show how dedicated and driven he is to put so much of his time into a sport that not a lot of people around him can relate to. He's driven, he's tenacious, and he's actually been one of the few athletes that we've had that have actually improved since we've gone virtual. He qualified for the virtual youth national regatta in the lightweight double, so he's still training, he's still working to improve his 2K and show how AJ can do at the national level. He will be attending the University of Alabama in the fall.
All right, up next we have Jack Mulholland. Jack has only been with us with a very short time, only rowing the last 2 springs with AJRA. He came to us from football and jumped headfirst into rowing and secured a spot in the top Varsity 8 and has worked in the men's quad as well here at AJ. Some great results on the erg, always pushing himself and his teammates to be faster. He has been a great addition here on the squad, and he will be attending the U.S. Naval Academy rowing in the fall.
The next senior that we have to talk about is another one of our captains, Kunal Vohra. Kunal's actually someone that I've seen throughout every day walking through the halls of Alpharetta High School where I teach. In between periods, he's stopped in my classroom and has talked about the team, the workouts, the plan for the week, and he's just always been someone that has been working for the next step for the team. He's a great captain because he's very team-oriented, and he's not always just focused on his successes and what can make him successful. He's always looking for what can we do as a team to get better. Outside of his leadership qualities as a captain, on the rowing side, Kunal has been someone that's been a great inspiration to the other rowers and the other underclassmen on the team. Despite his lightweight stature, he's been the stroke seat of the varsity 8, putting 110% behind every single stroke that he's ever taken. He's been someone that's hit the water with as much ferocity as anyone else that I've seen. Kunal will be attending the University of Georgia in the fall. The next senior that we have is Timothy Hune. Timmy's definitely one of the smartest kids that we have on the team, and through that he does a great job understanding the mechanics of the stroke and how it works. He loves small boats. Every time we've put him out in a small boat or a single, you could just tell that his racer instinct comes out and he just wants to be the fastest. It doesn't matter if we're doing steady state or pieces, he jacks the rate and just tries to win every single piece once he's out there. He's got a winner mindset in him. He will be attending Carnegie Mellon University in the fall. So the next senior that we have is Ben Talent. Ben Talent is probably someone that has the biggest personality, or someone that's you're always going to recognize when he's at the boathouse. He's someone that is so motivated, and he's never someone that we have to tell to work hard. He's always pushing himself to the limits. He definitely makes his presence known, whether it's through his approachability with his high rowing intelligence, his playlists that he's blasting in the parking lot while he's dancing in between erg sets. Just anything that you can think of when you remember back to AJRA, you probably have been in there somewhere. He is, as of the fall, the 6K record holder for AJRA, so that's huge. It's going to be a while before that record's broken, and he will be attending Northeastern University in the fall.
All right, up next we have Ethan Jacobs. He's only been with us for a few years, but he has earned a spot in the varsity 8 and the men's quad this year. He is always there to hop in a boat whenever we need him to, and race multiple times at a regatta. This past fall at the head of the hooch, he not only raced in his events here at AJRA, but he also raced in a composite boat, an adaptive boat, with another junior rower, and won a medal at the hooch. He is a great teammate and is going to be attending Florida State University here in the fall.
Coach Lauren and I are going to talk about this year's senior class for the varsity women. We have 17 seniors this year, quite a large group that has made a really awesome impact on the club and on the varsity women's team. So we're excited to celebrate them. We definitely wish it could be in person, but better a little bit than nothing at all. Our first senior is Gabby Chido. She is one of our 2 senior coxswains. She actually started as a rower, which you might not expect when looking at her, but she really committed to it for her freshman year and then made the switch in that summer and has been coxing with our varsity team for 3 years. We gave her a Biggest Glow Up award because her development as a coxswain is just awesome, and she has done a great job of interpreting what I want as a coach and bringing it to the team, which is not easy. We're really excited to see what she does next year and wish her luck at Tennessee.
Our next senior is none other than Claire Chang. Claire has been around the AJ Boathouse for years, given that she has a long legacy of siblings rowing here at AJRA. Claire is the kind of athlete that you put in stroke seat when you want the boat to be a lot crazy and a lot fast. Claire is definitely spirited, unique, and always has something very interesting to say. It has been a pleasure coaching Claire for the past 4 years. I'm definitely going to miss you, and good luck this fall at UGA.
Next up is Ruby Davenport. Ruby started rowing with AJRA in D Squad. You've already heard from her earlier in the video when she talked about Maria Odie earning the Braun Award. She is that genuine all the time and a great teammate for everyone. She's a little bit sneaky in her speed. She got seat raced about 75 times last year when she was in the varsity 8, but was relentless in her goals and ended up racing at nationals with that boat. She's headed to beauty school in the fall and then starting her own business. Can't wait to see how that goes and keep in touch.
Tinsley Newton is our next senior. Tinsley joined AJRA the winter of her junior year and immediately started making an impact. Tinsley's strong, she's competitive, she's a boat mover, and she is a great teammate. She also gives a lot of advice, perhaps too much advice, to the underclassmen about things like piercings and hair dyeing. Tinsley is going to Syracuse University to row in the fall, and we're super excited for her. We know that she is going to make a huge impact on that team as well. Tinsley, I wish I had coached you as a novice, and go Orange.
Next up, we have Zoë Bishop, one of our 3 senior captains this year. Zoe started her rowing career up the river, but we never held that against her and ended up loving her anyway. She's brought a lot to AJRA and to the varsity women's team, with always a positive attitude and an openness towards her teammates. She's set new standards for speed, both on the water and on land, and along with Tinsley and Sarah Grace, was one of our senior leaders of this year's first virtual national championship team. We are so excited and have really enjoyed working with Zoe over the last 3 years and can't wait to see how she does this fall at Oregon State.
Our next senior is Greta Dalby. Greta started rowing with AJRA as an 8th grader in D Squad. I cannot talk about Greta without talking about her being a coxswain. Greta will go down in history as one of maybe the best or maybe the worst coxswains for AJRA. Once she decided to switch to being a rower, Greta has made significant progression both on and off the water. She's gotten super faster, she's gotten super stronger, and her technique is always improving. Greta is going off to Jacksonville in the fall and will be rowing. Greta, we're gonna miss you, and point at me.
Next up, we have one of our 2 senior coxswains, Amy Hitzel. Amy has had the honor of working with me as her coach the last 3 years, starting with the novice men and then switching to the varsity women for her junior and senior year. She's come a long way, finishing with a regional championship last year in the 2V with her sister Jill. She also ends up swimming during the winter with her Johns Creek team, was a captain there, and then last second would always roll into erg sprints and clean up the coxswain category. We're super excited to send you off to Alabama and can't wait to see what's next from you.
Next senior is Mary Grace Paganucci. Mary Grace, she's loud, she's spirited, she's really, really loud. She's also a really hard worker and a really good teammate. One thing that many people might not know about Mary Grace is that she's overcome a lot of injuries to be where she is today rowing. One of my proudest moments as a coach was when Mary Grace came out of a double into a lightweight 8 and made nationals last year. Thank you, Mary Grace, for everything that you've done for this team, and good luck at Mississippi State.
Next up is Bea Lee. Bea is one of our senior captains this year. She's been rowing with AJRA since D Squad, and then last year as a junior ended up taking some time off. With her return, she showed her maturity, her resilience, and she came back not only to be a great athlete, but also to be a great teammate, and came back because she loved the community. It was a great statement for all of our team, and she's been a very solid role model for all of our athletes to look up to. I've also coached her brother, and I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I think my favorite Lee is Bea. Good luck at Georgia Tech in the fall, and thank you for everything you've done for AJRA.
Our next senior is Hannah Dean. Hannah started out rowing with AJRA as an 8th grader on D Squad. There's so much to say about her, but 2 things are true. The first is she has progressed so much over the past 5 years at AJRA. The second is that you could probably recognize Hannah by one of her erg pain faces or rowing pain faces that she has when she's going hard. Hannah has been a consistent presence in our lightweight boats for the past 2 years, going to nationals twice in a lightweight 4 and then a lightweight 8. And we know we would have gone again this year had our season not been canceled. Thank you, Hannah, for everything that you've done for AJRA, and good luck at Alabama.
Next up, we have Reagan Lynch. Reagan is one of our senior captains this year. She's been a staple in the varsity 8 since she was a sophomore, sitting in every seat from stroke seat to bow, always making the boat go fast, and always figuring out a way to put our bow ball out front. She has a great balance to my sarcasm, and also provides really good insight both about the boat she's rowing in and about the team as a whole. She's been a great leader for us this year. We will really miss her and her impact on this team. She'll be rowing in the fall at Boston University. Good luck, and thank you.
Our next senior is Megan Cosgrove. Megan Cosgrove started rowing here as a baby novice freshman with AJRA. Megan has always been a really good teammate and a little chill and goofy when we need to be. Megan has also been super helpful to the team. Even when she's been injured, she was very helpful to the coaches and the novices and everyone. That's why we sometimes call her Baby Coach Megan. Megan, we're going to miss you, and good luck at Tennessee.
Next up is Paige Pinnell. Paige has been rowing with AJRA for 4 years, and she definitely had a light bulb moment during her junior year, where she found a way to add a lot of speed both on and off the water. She always, at practice, knows how to keep it light and perform under pressure. We're super excited to see her head off to the University of Louisville next year. Good luck, and thank you for all your work.
Our next senior is Rena Westerfield. Rena also started rowing at AJRA as a little baby 8th grade D-squatter. Rena has always been extremely coachable, works really, really hard, and has no drama, which I really love about you, Rena. Rena had a breakout junior year where she got really, really fast and made boats go really fast. We're super excited that Rena is going to continue her rowing career at SMU. Good luck and kick ass.
Next up, we have Liv Hadley. She also goes by Live, Laugh, Love. As coaches for the varsity women's team, we always talk about being flexible and adaptable. And as a coach, I think there's probably nothing more terrifying than walking up to an athlete about 5 minutes before launch, saying, you're switching sides, you haven't stroked in 4 months, but you're gonna do it today, and it's regionals where we're trying to qualify for nationals. But Olivia was up to the task and definitely crushed it last spring. She always is working really hard, and pound for pound is a very effective athlete and a total badass for sure. We're so excited to see what she does at Northeastern, and thank you for everything you've done here.
Our next senior is Sarah Grace Allen. Sarah Grace started her rowing career down the river at Westminster, but thankfully made the right choice to come to AJRA when she was a sophomore. There's a lot of things to say about Sarah Grace, but a couple of adjectives come to mind. She's brave, she's authentic, and she is a good teammate. You may remember Sarah Grace last year in a single, and let me tell you, it is really, really hard to race a single by yourself throughout most of the spring season, and she did an awesome job. Sarah Grace is going on to row at Smith College next year, and we're super excited for her and know that she will bring all of the good characteristics of a teammate that she has exhibited here at AJRA to Smith College. We'll miss you, Sarah Grace.
Last but not least, we have Maria Odie. You've heard a little bit about her earlier tonight when she won the Bronikowski Award, but she's been a great role model for our athletes on this team. She also started up the river, but we never held that against her. It's been great to see how far she's come in her 2 years with AJ. We wish we had you a little bit longer. Good luck in the fall at Robert Morris.
On the novice women's team, we did have one senior this year, Nicole Alvis. She was on the rec team for the last few years, and then for her senior year decided to step up and join the novice women's squad. And we were so fortunate to have her because she was constantly a positive role model and a mature leader on the team, and we are so excited to see her successes in the future at Mercer University. Congrats, Nicole.
Thank you for attending our banquet tonight, or on the internet whenever you may be watching. We had a great program and a great group of speakers. We're looking forward to what comes next, and go AJRA.